Now, for a personal perspective on how the new policy will affect business, let's bring in Arian Castaneda, the president and owner of Castaneda Habana Cigars. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, from your business perspective, how will this react? What's your reaction to how this policy is unfolding?
Well, it will affect definitely the major part of Cuban population because since Obama released, part of the embargo and they improved the relationship with Cuba, people in Cuba start opening their own business, small business, but you see that it's growing little by little. And if you cut the flow of tourists that going from the U.S. to Cuba, that would definitely affect in a major role to the Cuban people economy. Not necessarily the government economy. It will affect actually Cuban people economy. Like people been doing business like Airbnb, tour taxis, around the city, small restaurants, cafe, that actually go the money directly from the tourists to those people.
Right, and it's interesting because President Trump was saying that the goal of what he was doing was to actually help the Cuban people as opposed to the Cuban government. Do you think this has been a misstep?
Yeah, of course. Like most of the things that he says, He said one thing at the end is totally the opposite, right? Because I don't think if he want really to help Cuban people, he should improve the relationship with Cuba. The proof is there. When Obama improved the relationship a little bit, just a little bit, even without negotiating or going to all the points that Obama want at that point, Cuban economy grow a lot, and people actually start having quite a little bit better life.
And we certainly saw a rise in the number of private enterprises because it wasn't just the airlines coming in, it's also the related businesses, people buying other items like cigars, for example.
Yeah, exactly. And, that's now cigar is a major export business in Cuba in general. From my perspective of view, we was hoping to relationship to get better so Cuban cigars, or Cuban tobacco that is well known all over the world, could get into the U.S. market. So right now it's kind of, we see all those kind of expectative that we had kind of gone. So it's really hard and impact in terms of plan for future, marketing or branding into the U.S. market.
Now, to that point, obviously we're still waiting for a lot of these regulations to roll out, but as a business owner, how are you preparing both mentally and strategy-wise for what's to come?
Well, you have to always find another way to get into, right? In my case, I have to go to other countries. If I cannot bring tobacco from Cuba, I have to bring tobacco like from Nicaragua, that produce excellent tobacco also. Not the same quality, not what I want to represent as a Cuban, as a business owner, as the fourth generation of the family business, We all want to keep our tradition and bring our own product. But if that's the case, you have to find another alternative.
And what are some of the countries you think that people may be turning to then instead of the U.S. if that door is closed?
Well, that would be difficult for those people that they don't have even the opportunity to find like the side way, that would be really extremely difficult. And most of those people, they just give up because they have no hope.
So if President Trump was in front of you and you wanted to let him know about his policies, and as a business owner, a private business owner, how this is going to affect you, what would you like him to know?
Well, I would like him to know that he's a businessman himself, and himself tried to do business in Cuba before. So he knows how things work when your business, get kind of stop or decline in one part of the country or in some country. That's a major impact. And him himself should know better than anybody else that a lot of people going to get affected, not just the country or the governors, on the country, just the regular people walking on the street, trying to run a business, a small business.
Well, hopefully appeal to the business owner in him. Thank you so much for joining us. Arian Castaneda, President and owner of Castaneda Habana Cigars.